everybody! I hope that you're all having a fabulous, fabulous Wednesday. I know I am. I just got to get taken over by a fabulous, huge battle axe in Curse of Strahd over on Dead Aussie Gamers channel. And now I'm here DMing these fabulous human beings. I love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our chatters. Hi, Platypus. Hi, Phantom. Hi, Snowflake. Thank you for being here. You're all delightful. You make me so happy. Here's to it. I'm looking back in chat. Your Lady Sadie, welcome. I think today is going to be a glorious day. And first, I would like to say thank you to our sponsors. Hi, welcome, yay, sponsors. Hero Forge first. Hero Forge. Go to heroforge.com. Behind our characters, behind our players, you can see their characters made in Hero Forge. It allows you to create absolutely fabulous 3D character art, which is glorious. When you go over to heroforge.com, you can set up a free account and create your own 3D character art, which is great for me because I am terrible at creating any sort of visual arts. Performing arts, fine, totally fine. Visual arts, terrible. So this is such a boon for me. I can create a character in 5 minutes, or I can spend like 3 hours getting every little detail right because I love them. And then when I do that, I can go and have them send me the mini. They will actually send me a painted mini, or they'll send it to me unpainted so I can paint it myself. It's absolutely fabulous. So we love you, Hero Forge. Thank you so much. In addition, I want to say thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. With Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a fabulous mobile game where you can play, guess what? Champions of the Forgotten Realms. That's right. Head over there and use the code that you see on the bottom of your screen. It's useful for a week, and it will get you an Electrum chest that lets you power up your fabulous Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Yay! Oh. My personal favorite is
Jarlaxle.
Jarlaxle! Fabulous app. Everybody needs a fabulous app. So head over there, use that code, level up your characters, and help save the Forgotten Realms. And finally, everybody hit !raffle to enter our fabulous dice giveaway with Phoenix Dice. We love you, Phoenix Dice. They make amazing dice, all based on fabulous mythological creatures. So enter them. We will be drawing at the end of the episode. We will be drawing a winner for that. And if you win, you get to pick any dice on their entire website. So let's get those raffles going. It's delightful. Hi, Cotton Candy. How are you? And if you'd like to see the rest of our sponsors, like D&D Beyond, Gemmed Firefly, Souls Rolls, and Realm Warp Media, please head to the About section and check them out. They are all delightful, delightful people, and I really want to support them. So please go say hello to them. And of course, we've got our new emote. This is Diadem, our fabulous crystalline dryad who rides around on a phoenix. Because she can, because it's her Phoenix and not yours. And she is our Nat 20. So hopefully we'll get some fabulous rolls in here and you can spam that new emote all over the place. I love it. Yay. Now, I'd like to hear from Reginald. What the hell did you do last week?
We
Oh my God. Corsair's Cove just raided with 12 people. Thank you. Corsair's Cove. Apparently you went a little long. I'm used to seeing you raid into Dead Aussie Gamers channel. So welcome over here. Welcome to Play Nerd Allies. I just got done over at Dead Aussie Gamers. So, raid. We have a new raid emote that is our fabulous character, Dapple Fury Sauce. Let's get some raids in chat. I'm so excited. We just went over all of our fabulous sponsors. If you'd like to go check them out, they are all in our About section. And since you have just come in, let me let you know that anything you do that helps the channel also helps our players and helps to keep the lights on. Over here, we've got a whole list. Every time you send bits or subs or any sort of donations or anything like that, there are effects on the game, up to and including hype trains. If we get fabulous hype trains, we'll do free dice giveaways. We will do Wheels of Chaos, which are my personal favorite. But head over to the donate. And for those of you who are new to the channel, there is something there called the Reef of Glass. And if anybody chooses the Reef of Glass, I will send you a whisper, and you will get to alter the world of the Patchwork Planet forever. Isn't that interesting and delightful? You will put your stamp on the planet. Now, let's find out what happened last week. Reginald, what happened to you?
Well, I mean, we were just trying to go find a Thule, and then everybody was panicking in the market. And then me and Diraxis were like, okay, well, that's cool, but we still need to find a Thule. So I teleported us over to a Thule, and there was a giant black dragon. And then we fought it. It was. Why is every day chaos? Every single day.
So
we can't
all
have
I'm going to say is, Reginald, you should be prepared for this. We've had a surprise red dragon. Now we've had a surprise black dragon. You just never know. You know?
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, welcome to Delver's Dream. This is what happens. So yeah, you ran down, faced a black dragon in the Temple of Moradin, Lord of the Dwarves. Hey, Diraxis, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah, well, we fought a really powerful black dragon, and we kind of all really got really hurt, and I'm kind of scared actually going outside Delver's Dream because we had all of our magic, and it still was it's quite rough, if I'm being honest. I ended the fight, not unconscious, which was a win, I'll admit. But we had two people that weren't, and there was some kind of disturbance with them, and it was difficult to get them back up. So I'm kind of nervous when I go down next time. If people are gonna be able to get me up, or I'm gonna go in the Great Beyond, or whatever Diraxis believes in. I don't know what, we haven't established that yet, but
apparently it's the Great Beyond right now.
Yeah, it's the Great Beyond. You know, you can interpret that however you like. But yeah, it was not good. But I'm excited to get out of here and kind of stretch our legs. I've been in Delver's Dream for a while. Been in my laboratory, and you know, I got to go touch some grass.
You need to what?
Go touch some grass.
Oh, touch some grass.
Yeah.
Wait, did you? Wait a second. Did you think you said touch some ass?
That fabulous parody commercial from New Zealand. It's like, yeah, go out on the deck.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice deck.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's a nice deck.
You're gonna cut some bushes down around the deck so you can see the deck better. Absolutely. Touch some grass. Touch some grease. Did you
touch
say?
Some grace.
All right. Yes. Fabulous. Hey, Crow, what happened to you last week?
What? Oh, I'm still a little bit kind of coming back to myself. I believe the last thing I remember is berating a dragon before everything kind of went black.
Cause the black dragon. I get it.
More so me losing consciousness, but
oh
sure.
Right, no, that was the joke. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad, man.
Wasn't a joke at all. I all of my senses gone. I was very out of it. But yeah, I'm just excited to hit the road, go into a swamp, maybe get some blood root back so people can stop dying of Grimrot. That'd be great. I'm personally on the camp of doing that. Yeah.
You know, that's going to be important. Actually, making sure that people aren't just dying all over the place is great.
Yeah. If you think we have it bad right now, Duraxis, imagine the people who aren't tethered to touchstones right now. Like, they are in a very bad spot.
Yeah, that's quite true, especially if they were really relying on magic.
Mm-hmm. It's not great. Hopefully, by this year's end, who knows? Maybe magic will kickstart again. Hopefully. I'm really praying for it.
Maybe we should look into that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we like use magic a lot, it'll be like the universe will be like, yes, they like magic. Let's keep that.
Yeah. Just one giant yes and from the universe for magic, please.
Oh yeah. If we, you know, whatever we do determines what happens. So I guess that's a good route. Let's use a lot of magic.
Next stage is going to be one of magic.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
That's what we're going for with this.
We just need a lot of crystals.
Oh, I know where there's a shit ton of crystals.
Oh, you do? Where?
Oh yeah?
Back in Jar Saeed, the floating isle that's literally being held up by a massive air. That thing's chock-a-block with crystals.
Oh yeah, I mean that's great. But
did you just say chock-a-block?
Precisely, I did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
I caught it.
Right. So whenever you get back here from with your depression era sayings, sorry, I didn't realize that because we introduced a little technology to me, it suddenly entered Victorian New York.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I mean that's great and all, but it's quite far.
And aren't they going to kind of need those?
Listen, I said I knew where there were a lot of crystals.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't say that getting them were going to be easy. We could talk to Granny. Maybe set up some type of trade network or whatever.
We do have like an entire room for finding things, like down the hall.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we can use that.
Yeah,
let's
awesome. See if there's crystals that are unattended somewhere.
We could see if we could scry and try and find some crystals somewhere.
I'll help out however I can.
For those at home who do not yet know, the reason they're talking about crystals is because magic has been suppressed on this world by the god of wisdom. So outside of their home city, Delver's Dream, magic does not function anymore and has literally been compressed into crystals that you have to crush in order to cast a spell. So while they are outside of Delver's Dream, they're going to have to find a huge supply of crystals so that they can keep casting the spells. Because it's not just one crystal, one spell. It's a first level spell costs a crystal, but like a fourth level spell or a third level spell costs 4 crystals. And a fourth level spell costs 8 crystals, and it keeps doubling as you go up. So to cast higher level spells costs a lot.
Yep, to cast a 9th level spell, we need 256 crystals.
No.
Petty change in the grand scheme of magic. I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyway, yes. We weren't talking about drugs. We were talking about magic crystals.
Yeah, the magic crystals. Magic.
Just to be clear.
And we use them whole. We don't ground them into powder or anything like that. We don't need to. I mean, I guess you could.
Anyway.
Do
you guys want to go check out the scry table?
Yeah, let's use that map.
We're here. Let's do it.
As you head down into the temple area. Oh, you're already in the temple area. Mm-hmm. You move through several of the temples in the temple complex, and you get to the temple of, I believe it is Thardhar. The Explorer. You head over to the table. You see that the clerics have been busy heading out into the world and finding places. For those of you in the audience, they discovered like a year ago now or more that there is a scrying table in this temple. This is the very first time they have ever used it. This fabulous table has essentially the continent laid out And there are certain, as they explore a city or a place or a place of power or just a region, suddenly that will become a token, a little sort of mini of itself that they can pop in to the appropriate slot and then scry on it. So now, what you see as you enter is that there have been several things added. You can see Delver's Dream. You can see Splinter's Point, the forest home of the elves. You can see Fog's Cradle, the swamp. You can see Joaquin's Spiral. You can see Dustburrow. But you can also see Valencia, the mountain home of the awakened animals. You can see Jarsaid, the elemental city. You can see Duopolis, the city split in half by sea and land. But you cannot see anything in Nanked. Apparently the priests have not gone over there yet. So tell me, what would you like to scry?
I've been to a place that no one here has been to. Can I put something on the...
So as you do that, what you can do is this explorer god does not just say, oh, hey, you've been here, it's cool. You have to give it a story that it has never heard before about this place. And then you will see the map expand.
Okay. So I will go up to this table and I will tell an incredibly crazy story of how I was in the Fey realm, and when I went through a portal to come to the Patchwork Planet, I ended up in a weird dark room, a almost cavernous area. And when I looked around more, I saw books and things on the shelves and different tables filled with artifacts that I did not know of, and a map that showed that the location was under a mountain.
What are you talking about?
When I first came to the Patchwork Planet, that's where I got the book. Was in the
Oh, Thracath. Wait, were you thrown into Thracathra? Oh yeah, he's been to Thracathra.
That's what we talked about. That's where I got the book. And I'll tell about how.
Thank you for the follow, NW20.
As I was wandering around there and I was trying to find a way out, again I used magic to teleport, and I found myself in an underwater prison and also a shark.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That you had wandered. So my recollection is that you had, when you appeared, you did appear in the library.
Yeah.
You found your way to Briny Bridge.
Okay.
During Shark Week, and that's when you became a shark. Because here, apparently, Shark Week is a fabulous festival where 6 hags appear, create this sort of field over a town, a magical field, where people will just randomly turn into sharks, and then everybody will scream, "Shark!" and carry you to the water so that you don't die.
So I'll describe my shark to it too, like how it was just a really gawky shark with like glasses on still, but like the glasses were like on the side of the head. And how I wandered my way into that prison as well.
Yes, and then you found your way to the prison underneath Duopolis. So tell me, so that is not a terribly interesting story, I would say. Just, oh, I appeared in a place and there was some stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me, because this god has heard many times, oh, I was in a place. What happened to this place?
So while I was searching this place, I was drawn to a book, a specific book, that the magic was so intoxicating that I just had to open it up and read it. And what I found haunts me to this very day. It was filled with writings and pages of death and undeath that I had never even imagined. I couldn't even comprehend the horrors. And at that point, the book kind of held on to me. And that's why I was carrying it for so long.
Fabulous. And do you still have it with you?
No. I gave it to Crow.
I currently have
Oh,
it now.
Crow has it now.
Mhm.
Okay. Fabulous.
I decided after seeing the stuff that Kilnasi was doing and listening to her logic and everything, I realized that any kind of undeath is not the way. And so I disavowed the book.
And as you say this, a small token appears next to the map, and it looks like a small hill that seems to have like two spires coming out of it, with you standing in front of it with an open book.
Crow, come here! And I just like pull him over.
Crow
If he's not like already
Crow
looking.
is already like
Yeah.
hand gritted, like a vein is visible as he's looking down at what he has been searching for the better part of the last year.
From what you told me, this place is like untouched, and it probably has some crystals. I mean, the magic I was sensing in there was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is the birthplace of orcish necromancy.
And we're heading towards the swamp anyway. It's a little close to Nunked, but
We might be able to scry on what's happening inside the castle. Give me a
can't.
second. Well, we
Oh.
have a story to tell. The birthplace of a god, which is it's a pretty interesting tale, I would imagine.
Well, so first, let me tell you, the slot that this thing will fit in looks like it is right on the border of Verendeth.
Oh, so we have to travel through Verendeth.
I mean, let's not make assumptions.
We have to travel. We have to
We
travel
can go
next
around
to, or
Verendeth,
around Verendeth.
which means the safest route, ironically, would be to go into Nunked instead of try to go through Verendeth and fall to our deaths.
To our Verendeth, yes.
Yes, I guess that's Verendeth, because you'll be very dead.
Very
if you
dead.
go through. But
For
yeah,
those at home, Verendeth is one of the countries here that used to be all Underdark. The planet that it came from was all Underdark. So when it lost its spherical shape, it lost that geometric support that the sphere gives it, and it started collapsing in on itself as it's just hundreds of miles of caverns down further and further and further. So now it is a country that if you step into it, you might be fine, but you might also take the wrong step and fall hundreds, if not thousands of feet into the cavern below you.
it is the worst game of Minesweeper you've ever played. OSHA hates it. OSHA hates the entire thing.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yep.
I will recount to this scrying table the tale of the birth of the child of pure positive energy.
Yeah, you have no idea what this thing is, but tell me about this.
As myself and my compatriots traveled into the Lich Queen's domain, passing towering creatures of absolute negative energy, for which would wither away a mortal's form in a mere moment. We did battle with the Lich Queen herself, a chorus of liches aiding her. It was only by the quick wit of my dear friend Reginald and his ally V that we were able to transmute a portal from the negative energy plane to positive. As the battle continued on, and fate had its day, we all bore witness to the creation of a new being, a child born not of negative energy as Kilnasi hoped, but entirely of positive energy. Though we were banished from the Lich Queen's lands, she kept still that child. To do what with, still do not know.
And as you say that, you see the palace of Nanked in all of its beautiful glory appear as a token on the ground. Standing in front of it is Kilnasi holding a child, the Lich Queen holding a child.
That is the most oxymoronic statement I've ever looked at. Okay, I'm going to anyone opposed to seeing what the fuck's going on in that tub, like in that palace right now?
Let's take a peek.
Taking a peek. I pick it up, I put it in the slot.
So as you put it in the slot, you feel yourself, your vision getting bigger and bigger and bigger, as though you yourself are moving towards this palace. It starts gaining color, and you see behind it the volcano that the capital of Nanket is built into, the side of. You see the door approaching. You see the entire city just deadly quiet as you continue moving forward into the gates, and you seem to sort of stop in the entryway. Where would you like to visit?
I will enter the throne room.
As you think about the throne room, suddenly it's as though you are whisked infinitely fast through the hallways until you see the throne room. You see Kilnasi in the throne room, having created some sort of playpen for a small child.
Can I look upon the child?
You may. And you see that the child's skin is unblemished, beautiful and perfect. And as you look upon them, you see the skin sort of run through a whole rainbow of colors, gently. It's not as though it's some sort of hypnotic effect. It's literally just over the course of several minutes, their skin will go from like a pink to a brown to a red. They shift through all the colors of the spectrum. And you see that their hair is pure white.
I'll look over. Oh. You got a question?
Does the child look well fed?
It does.
It's good.
Looks like they're being taken care of, at least. I look over to Kilnasi, what she's up to.
You see that Kilnasi has, there are several bookshelves now in the throne room. You realize that these were the books that got stolen from Corton.
Of course.
And she is reading through them. Looks like she is studying some things. You see her touchstone, the altar of transference, next to the throne. You also see what looks like a war table in front of her, and you see the entire continent, the map of the continent laid out, with what looks like battalions of Warforged.
Where does it seem that the Warforges are being centralized on? Like, what she's planning, essentially, where she's planning to attack first, it seems.
Absolutely. It looks as though she is attempting to head towards Duopolis first. That's where most of her forces are amassing.
Uh-oh. Seeing this, I look once more in the direction of the child in the playpen before returning to myself.
So as you attempt, so who all is here?
Just the three of us.
So all three of you are there.
Yeah.
Fabulous. As you attempt to leave, you run into a wall.
Oh? Oh.
And this wall begins to sort of move, and you can feel yourself being drawn towards the throne with Kilnasi, pale and beautiful. Skin, like, just so pure white. Hair so black. Bloodless, but gorgeous. She just looks at all of you. Don't forget, this is one of the most powerful magic users in the multiverse.
You know,
she knows what's down.
Hi.
Honestly, I was more so expecting this place to be warded, but hi, how are you? You look great.
Oh. It's interesting to see you again. I won't say it's nice.
I mean, we can be a little bit cordial here, right? We're not, we can talk, have conversation.
I have been nothing but cordial to you and your friends as you attempted to destroy my palace and all of my works.
To be fair, you did take over my homeland, and it was not great.
Also, we don't really try to break temples and things. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
We apologize for that, if that's...
Let me be very clear. This was my homeland 1,000 years ago. You just lived here.
I think that's the definition of a homeland, my dear.
We can parse semantics at a later date. I'm wondering what this fun little contraption is that allows you to enter my home ethereally.
Oh, it's a divination spell.
Give me absolutely no. She knows her again. One of those powerful magic users in the multiverse. She knows her divination.
Can I assist? Can I assist to be like, yeah, I mean, totally.
Is that
all you're gonna say, Chief?
I start talking about the different ways of like mind magic and how we can transfer our ethereal bodies to different places.
She looks at you and starts like sort of charting out different spells in the divination school, and she's like, there's this, there's that, there's the other thing. None of them allow you to do something like this. Now there's this. And she starts actually talking to you about spells that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, maybe it's this, it's that. No, it's not that. Tell me exactly what you're doing.
Bluffing. We're just here to say hi. I mean, can't
Yeah,
I'm going to need, before you go down that road, I do need a deception check, please.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're just straight up lying to her, that's not a great way to start any sort of diplomatic situation.
No.
Just regular roll.
Yes.
Crit, baby! 31!
God! Everybody!
Shit!
Everybody!
Holy
That's 20 in the chat, please.
Yeah, that's a
Give me
31.
just a moment, because now I need to pull up Kilnasi's.
Oh, dang.
That's a 31. Oh
Nat
my
20's
god.
in the chat, baby!
Get those nat 20s in there.
That's right, we've got the new emote. We've got the nat 20 emote.
Oh, man.
First roll of the day, nat
That
20.
was a shot of adrenaline. That was amazing. I was not expecting that at all.
Those moments
You
make the game,
believed
dude.
the hype. You believed the hype. All right, I am going to. Where is my Kilnasi? Pardon me as I go through the 70,000 characters NPCs that I've created for
Oh
this.
boy.
Yeah. We're just talking magic theory while you're waiting. Me and Kilnasi are just like, oh yeah.
Great.
And
That's very
Oh,
interesting.
very interesting.
Let's see.
Fantastic.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I feel like that's just a whole bunch of lies, isn't it? Isn't it? You're just full
So
of lies.
before the insights rolled, I could do Dark One's own luck and add a D10 to it. I kind
Oh
of
my
like
God.
that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you know
I think
what?
I'm going
I'm sorry.
I'm going to.
I'm sorry. Later, you took Dark One's own luck.
Yeah,
What do you
he's
mean I took it?
he's a
I
warlock.
have to have that. I have that
Oh,
spell.
sorry. That's a feat that we created.
No,
also for-
yeah, no, it's
for
a warlock
campaign.
feature. No.
I mean, I'm going to guidance him too if we're doing this.
Yeah, I want to make sure that she believes this.
So first of all, so let me be clear. You're not going to guidance him because he
How would it need to be
learned
done
something
first?
out. You do not have time. Guidance is not a reaction.
Mhm.
So you
Fair,
can't
fair,
just
fair.
snap your fingers and make that happen.
Yeah.
There is, but I cannot find her in time, so I'm just going to roll. The only thing is, if she gets a roll like a natural 20, then she will meet it and therefore make it happen. She does not. So she's like, oh, what spell is this that you've developed? That's quite unique.
Corton's a mastermind.
Yeah,
I
I
say.
haven't thought of a name for it yet.
I'm sorry, you are saying that you created it, or the Corton
Come now,
created it?
Daraxis. We can be honest
It
here.
was.
Come on.
Yeah. I'd like to think it was a collaborative effort, but it was mostly Corton.
Corton does not collaborate terribly well, dear.
You can say that again.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun.
So what you been up to?
Yeah.
I'm continue to pursue my goal, which you are quite aware of destroying the gods.
How does that deal with heading over to Duopolis?
Oh. You can make me an insight check.
Of course. Oh God, I'm not great at insight. Oh boy. Let's see what happens here. Fingers crossed.
Oh,
It should have been more crossed.
Um,
That's a 6.
so she just stares at you and she's like, oh yes, there's. It seems that they are the most divided and therefore the weakest.
Well, they are called two cities. They literally named their city after the division, so fair enough. But
Now,
must you
tell me-
do war with them in order to beat the gods?
I'm sorry?
I just saying that must you do war with them in order to defeat the gods?
No.
Yeah, and didn't you say you wanted like to be like a peaceful world after this? Pretty
think
sure
yes,
like
that's
attacking people and starting a war is like opposite of
It
that.
will be peaceful, dear. When the gods are no longer involved.
Thank you for the raid, Alakazam.
Alakazam, yay! Welcome.
How exactly does attacking
Just-
Duopolis?
We have just
Ooh, what's going on?
jumped into a conversation with the Lich Queen Kilnasi. We are discovering what the hell she is doing right now. And it's delightful. So, listen,
Yeah, go on.
while attacking this country is not going to directly further my end goals, I'm perfectly aware of exactly how the rest of the continent feels. I know that invasions are coming, and they're coming quickly. And for me, conflict and strife are part of any existence.
I see. Though you proclaim to be against the gods, you still subscribe to Thra's old ways.
Not at all. I am simply a pragmatist. I understand what the motivations of most people are. I understand that there is nothing to stop the rest of the world from coming after me at this point. I must be ready for that, and I'm not going to be able to accomplish my goals if I'm constantly dealing with troublesome little mortals
The rest of the
wandering into
world,
my territory.
The rest
the
of the
rest of
world's
the
in
world is in
chaos.
turmoil.
Yes, so it's the perfect time to strike.
No one is trying to attack you right now. Everyone is just trying to make sure that their own are kept safe in this, as we all understand, very horrible times.
Huh.
You are safer
So-
now than you've ever been.
So I must I must be the first ones that you stride upon them. You're not the only one who knows about the crystals. You're not the only one who understands magic.
What have you figured out? I'll admit it. we
Much
are-
more than you, apparently, as you throw around these simple concepts that you have neither studied nor proved in any way, shape, or form. My suggestion would be that you look into the rest of the world. You look into the little fearful minds of the people controlling the populations on this continent. Yes, there is chaos. And while chaos is opportunity for many, for most it is just fear. They will do anything to maintain their control. And I am very easily the best target for that animosity in order to keep their minds off the fact that magic has died, to keep their minds off the fact that soon their populations will starve.
And
Soon
before
the animals will run rampant through the streets.
I understand. I know that you must do what you must to protect yourself. Before we enter a full bloody war yet again, might you give us an opportunity to try diplomacy?
To try diplomacy with who?
With the others.
Everyone. We brought them together to fight you. What makes you think we can't convince them to work together rather than against each other? If you strike first, it'll be impossible. They
It
already
would be
fear you.
self-fulfilling prophecy if you started war yourself.
It's going to happen regardless.
You don't
Your
know
little-
that.
Oh, I absolutely do, my dear. I've been alive for thousands of years now. I have spoken as I lived in the Shadowfell with the spirits of so many that came through there about their experiences, what has happened across the multiverse. And there are certain patterns that emerge. One is that fear is a far more powerful motivator than just about anything else. Love is the only thing that is more powerful.
Then
And
don't
right
give
now-
them something to fear. Give us a chance. If you're so... If the world you want has peace, give us a chance to try to make it peaceful.
Without
Isn't that worth giving us a chance? To make the universe that we'll leave behind in a year better?
You seem to be under some sort of misapprehension as to what I mean by peaceful. What I mean by peaceful, the only way to remove ourselves from the gods' influence is if we lock those souls away in the negative energy plane. That is what is peaceful.
By
Gentlemen,
those
there's-
souls, you mean our souls?
every soul. It's what the gods feed on, that belief during life and after death, that belief in them. They need the power of people's souls, of their faith, of their feelings about the gods in order to maintain their own power, in order to maintain dominion. But they cannot enter the negative energy plane, and souls cannot escape it, meaning we would empty the multiverse. All would be equal, existing in peace in the darkness.
It's the saddest existence I can think of.
Well,
And it seems we're at an impasse.
Yeah, I don't think there's any swaying her opinion. I will say, Kiki, I do have another thing that I wanted to ask you about. Can I call you
I'm
Kiki?
sorry, did you just call her
Can I
Kiki?
call you Kiki?
Can't call you
No.
Kiki.
You see her like sort of shake her hand, and suddenly a crystal appears in her palm, and she crushes it, and you just feel yourself sort of slammed to the ground by a force.
Ah, god dang! I was just trying to have conversation. See, this is why I'll just
You
lay on the floor.
will
This is
show
why
the-
you don't have any friends. This is
You
you
will
can't
show the proper
talk to
respect
someone.
while you are within my halls. Is that understood?
Yeah, of course. I didn't mean any disrespect.
Yes,
Just
you did.
to say, like, is there any way, like, switching my touchstone back is on the table still?
Well,
Like,
after that ordeal, I don't think so.
You insult me, and then you ask
What?
for favor.
Nicknames are a point of friendship,
I mean,
and
buddy,
Well,
you're
that's
digging
quite
a hole.
presumptuous of you.
I don't know as if we're friends.
You
sorry.
attempted to murder me with you and your friends. You killed everyone in my court. You
murder-
destroyed my country.
There,
Defeat,
your shadow
defeat.
thing chased us over
We
here.
are getting nowhere in this conversation.
Yeah.
No.
I apologize for
We
this
are.
disrespect. I understand you must do as you will. And at this point, I am in no position to convince you otherwise.
No. Mainly because your arguments are pedantic and in most cases childish.
Well, and compared to someone who's lived as long as you, it is
Whoa! Don't talk about her age. Man.
inevitable.
Okay, that's.
I'm not talking to her age, I'm talking to her wisdom.
Yes, the arc of your life is a few moments compared to mine. And what that means is that I have experienced far more than you. I've heard all these arguments before. I've heard them from every angle. I could introduce you to 100 people that would very easily argue you under the table from the opposite side. I've heard all of this.
Your ideals have definitely endured the test of time. And so, for that, I shall respect them and bid you farewell.
She's going to look over at Reginald and be like, perhaps take a note about how to be respectful of someone.
Well, sorry. Okay,
You're not.
I'll think about it.
I would suggest that you stop lying to my face.
Well, I was trying to get to the point and say I wanted to trade my touchstone back.
No, I'm saying when you say things like, well, I'm sorry, and you obviously don't mean it, that is a lie. Now, is there anything else, Reginald? Would you like to dig a little deeper?
As tempting as that sounds, no. What, you told me you didn't want me to lie. I'm being honest.
You are. That is in the 40-foot hole that you've dug, you've just popped up about 6 inches. Now, Duraxis,
Yeah.
if you would be willing to show me this new magic that you have, I might be willing to give you a little something in return.
Yeah, that's a bit too vague for me, to be honest. I would say it's not my spiel to give. All I have to say is, I'm really glad that baby looks like nice and healthy. I was kind of concerned about that, but now seeing that, it's good.
What baby?
The baby.
The child.
What are you talking
Child in the playpen.
And as you look over, you see that it's no longer a child. It's now a cactus.
Oh. I guess I meant the cactus.
What happened to? Is it just cycling through all things that live?
As you say that, you do see it suddenly. It's like a puppy.
I see it. It's cycling through all things that draw life. Got it.
Okay.
That's adorable.
The thing that
That is
at one
awesome.
point was an infant. I'm glad that's...
That must be really weird when you gotta like diaper change, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you just change the pot, like for if it's a plant.
So the epicness of the eye roll that she is so astonishing that you can feel that enter the zeitgeist of the multiverse.
Like I try to like pull a notebook and I realize that I'm ethereal and I'm like shit.
Yes, it's quite fun caring for this little one. And I think we shall have many lovely things to do over the course of the next 11 months. Well, if you're not going to give me access to that spell, that new spell that you have, I do believe our time is at the end.
I
All right.
have but
Just
one,
starting to get. You know what? You're right.
a final parting query, if you would allow me. If the gods are barred from the negative energy plane, what of the positive?
What about it?
Are they barred from there as well?
No.
Huh. Thank you for answering that question.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.
And as you start heading out, you see the little puppy suddenly turn into like a giant purple worm.
Oh God.
Just sort of like hanging around, looking around, not doing anything.
They
My
grow
vision
up so
is
fast.
a problem.
Just
They grow-
existing.
They grow up so fast.
So, as we kind of come back to ourselves inside of the temple, so she has access to a child that can turn into anything. Oh no. I fear for what she might do with that. But I do believe we have a more pressing thing on our table than the acquisition of Bloodroot. We might want to offload that to some others, as I think we have to stop other people from trying to attack Kilnasi.
Well, I think the most pressing thing is not necessarily that, but keep her from attacking Duopolis. Because if we don't do that, we're not going to convince anyone to not attack her.
Well, from here, and I point to the map, Duopolis is kind of on the other side of Varendeth. So, on the way?
On the way. We should actually scry and see what's going on in Duopolis. I grabbed that one, popped that in there. Just like, hold up.
They're probably like fucking killing each other and shit. They got no magic.
Oh shit.
As you do that, you see that there is you start zooming in on Duopolis. You see the cliffside that sheared the two cities in half. You see the Triton city below the waves, and you see the Kalishtar city above. which section of the city are you going to enter?
Let's do the Calistar.
Hallerstadt.
Yeah, wherever the council was.
Are you going to, so the areas that you're sort of familiar with are going to be like the market or the council chambers or the cliff top?
Yeah, we gotta look at the important people and see what they're doing.
Yep, let's see what they're planning.
Yes. As you enter the council chambers, you find that things have definitely shifted. As you enter, you see that there's still the same council members. Everything seems a little tense, but you also see that all of the cages that were there before are now filled with creatures. And these creatures look a little odd. As you get closer to them, you realize that they're all sort of magical creatures. Like you see some harpies in there. You see, at one point you actually see in like the back page, you see an actual unicorn.
A caged unicorn? That sounds like it's just a faux pas.
And all of them seem to be covered in crystals.
Wow, that's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, they're farming crystals, literally.
That is disheartening.
I mean, I get it, but
What would you like to do while you're here in the council chambers?
Can we cast spells on these people while we're here?
So you may give me an Arcana check.
Okay, I'll do that.
That would
2
be
seconds. Arcana. That is a 19.
So with a 19, because this is essentially sort of an artifact level thing that was created specifically for Elder Stream. So you're not going to know everything about it with a 19, but you know enough to have figured out, because Kilnasi was able to see you and was able to stop you, you recognize that you are actually here in the ethereal realm. So spells that can transition between the ethereal and the real world will still function.
If I cast Modify Memory on one of these council members, will it go through?
I mean, so it is not my job to tell you whether it's going to go through. You can absolutely try.
I'm going to attempt it. So I'm going to move my hands around a little bit, point towards one of the council members, put my hand on my temple, and I'm going to give them the information that we saw on the war table, and I'm going to put that memory into their mind.
Now, Modify Memory, will it actually cross the boundary between the ethereal and the real world?
That's what I don't know. That's why I kind of wanted a ruling on it.
Is it based on sight or what?
If it's based on sight, then absolutely.
Yeah, a creature you can see must succeed a wisdom saving throw.
Fabulous. The spell slot is expended, but nothing happens as you attempt to access magic. But
because I'm in that place, that makes sense.
Yeah, no crystals.
All right, it was worth a try.
Wait, if we're we can't touch things in the material because we're ethereal. Shit, I was gonna be like, go to the cage,
go
grab
touch
something.
the horse.
Yeah,
the horse, man.
But yeah, we're ethereal, so.
Let me just borrow a couple of these.
Well, I couldn't even if I tried. That was my last level spell of that level that I can cast today.
Bummer.
Anything else you'd like to try?
No, let's all rest and plan to head out.
While we're here, we can actually take some of Kilnasi's wisdom to heart. We don't know what's going on everywhere. Let's check everywhere. Baland or Jarsai? Which one first?
Yeah. Either. We'll do both.
I
Just
will say,
yes.
in my studies, sometimes I found the more things you know, the less it actually helps.
Bollocks. I put in Balin.
Shut up,
I'm
Reginald.
so confused by that statement.
The more things you know.
I wanted to
the
say
less
it
you
sounded
know.
better in my head, I'll be honest. My point is, we already know what our mission is. We can't split our focus, is what I was really trying
that's
to get
true.
across.
It almost doesn't matter.
So you are now not in the scene. As you've chosen to step back from it, Diraxis, are you going to enter the scene as
yeah, sure.
as Crow pops that into the
I
scene?
mean, yeah, Valencia's nice.
All right, fabulous. So you see the mountain, you see the fields surrounding it, you see the woods, you see the foothills leading up to the mountain home of the awakened animals. Where would you like to go?
The council chambers again.
Yeah, the council chambers.
Gotta see what the leaders are doing.
Fabulous.
Oh man, I
As you
haven't
head-
seen Goru in a while.
Yeah, get the temperature of the country.
As you head up to the council chambers, inside you see the council. One each of the animals represented there. They are discussing what is happening in the world currently. How long do you stay?
I'm going to stay long enough to kind of get an idea of what exactly they are, like the specifics of what they're discussing.
Yes. If we are going to be visiting a whole bunch of different places, I'm going to sort of shift to a more informational thing.
Not a problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a small question, just a little thing. Are their bodies are still here on the primaterial plane?
Yeah.
Like, okay, can I mess with them at all?
Oh my
Absolutely.
god.
100%.
I'm gonna tie
jump into that
Diraxis'
scene
boots
in a minute.
together.
So we'll jump
Okay.
into that scene in a minute. There is if you are all hanging out, trying to find out what's going on, the first thing that you see is that Balin has the Council of Balin has a war map on the table as well.
I would study that war map.
You see that it looks as though their flying troops are heading towards Nonpet.
Looks like Kilnasi has her attention in the wrong direction.
They are. It looks like the troops, the Aarakocra and the Owlin troops, are amassing on the border of Barendex and planning an assault.
Come on, Gary.
Alright.
It's too aggressive, mate.
So, are they really this afraid of Kilnasi? They would place importance in getting rid of her over current state of things? I'm going to go to the market.
So
See what-
don't forget that they don't have touchstones. The only one that has a touchstone is Goru. But Goru is not around a bunch of other people that have touchstones. He was not there when things went down. He does not understand what's happening.
True.
He just knows something is shifting. He doesn't know the import of his actions at this point. And all you know is that Kilnasi still has the most powerful armies on the planet now that magic has been suppressed.
Fuck.
Bro, we might need to split up.
It's looking like it. You know what? Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. Granny's awesome. Granny can't possibly be trying to start a war. Continue a war. Okay, let's check on Jarsai. I popped that one. Wait, as I come back to myself, what did you do to us? What did you do to us, Reginald?
Yeah.
Yes, so now we will shift over to that scene.
How
As
long
they are-
did they?
In order to find out all of that information, it's probably like 5-10 minutes sort
Yeah.
of studying things to see what's going down.
Okay. I absolutely. What potions potions does Tyraxis have right now?
Oh God.
If you're gonna go through their bag, you can. Are you familiar with alchemy at all?
No. That's Tyraxis' stuff. I don't mess with that stuff.
So you can do me and like maybe an Arcana check at disadvantage to see if you can figure out what any of them do.
Okay, disadvantage.
Yeah,
Roll
they're
now.
not labeled. Direxis doesn't use labels.
That's still a 22.
Oh damn! No, you're familiar. Like as you sort of like dip your finger into a couple and taste it, like you're familiar with the ingredients that go into a lot of things. It's a basic course of study that you took while you were in school.
Hey, I'll totally take like one of the more harmless, like prank ones,
Well,
and I'll.
so Jiraxis, what potions do you have
Oh,
with you?
that's a terrible question.
Terrible question.
I kind of just make them up on the fly.
Make a couple up on the fly right now.
All right. So he has one that again, these only work in Del Regime. He has one that makes you fly. He has one that makes you sick. He's got one that creates a portal.
Is the fly one more like a levitate, or is it
No,
like
it's
you
actual
get wings?
It's actual fly, like the fly spell. All his
those
spells
are
are potions.
Those are the three that you can identify.
So there was a flying one. There was what else?
One that makes you sick, and then one that creates a portal.
Where's the portal? I don't even know.
Dimension.
Throw it,
It's
find
dimension
out.
door.
Yeah. So I'll pop the one that makes you fly on Crothon's body, and like, is he just floating there, or?
I'd imagine since all of Dirax's spells have been doing horrible animal-like things to people, I would just sprout some ungodly amalgamation of like two different animals.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You basically just stole my spells, which is hilarious.
So Crow, as you are like in the ethereal realm, you're sort of floating. So that's sort of the feeling that you have. So in the real world, because that's how you're sort of moving in the ethereal realm. You're not like walking. You're just sort of floating where you need to go. So in the real world, the wings that you now have just start beating as you are feeling the sensation of floating, and now you can fly. Now you have no concept of this because you're still miles and miles away. But I am going to need. I am going to need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, Reginald.
Oh, me? Oh, hell yeah.
Get beat by wings, bitch.
And weirdly, all of a sudden, Diraxis is thinking about flying and concentrating on flying, and he's like, "Oh, what? Why am I doing that while I'm looking at this?"
I only got a 13.
With the 13, you absolutely just get knocked directly into the table, as does Diraxis. As the first beat of the wings just throws you both into the table.
Why does my head hurt now?
Disrupting everything and tossing things out of this. So you then suddenly come back to your body, and Crow, you now have these crazy wings
Whoa!
and are sort of floating a little bit off the ground.
Oh my god!
Yeah, one's like a griffin wing, and the other's like a butterfly wing, but the butterfly wing is like half the size.
So I'm literally like flying at a 45
No,
degree
I mean
angle.
they still both work fairly normally,
No,
but
so
they're
you
just,
are.
really...
Yeah, I'm flying at a 45 degree angle here. What is happening? What happened?
Yeah,
Reginald!
what happened to your body?
I don't know. I think it could be the changing blood doing some weird shit again.
You know what? That's probably it. And I just kind of like pocket the empty bottle.
Yes, I will expend a 3rd level spell slot. Thank you.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
He stole and cast my spell.
So I really don't
Thank
have
you for the
great...
caller, Casper.
So what do you guys see? I mean, forget about the
war. They're planning on doing an aerial assault on Kilnasi. And I say this as I'm like flying in a circle,
Just a circle.
trying to figure out how to do this.
I'm like trying to follow you, like with my body, just standing in the middle, just turning with you, like Lazy Susan style.
Yeah.
It's like, so our plan is still to go to Duopolis, though, right? That's.
We may have to split up.
I god dang told you this would happen.
I had no idea when you heard that proverb.
Yeah,
I think
information's important.
Sometimes you think new thoughts, Crothon, okay? Jesus.
Yeah, well, sometimes you think stupid thoughts, too.
Could you do us a great
Durax is coming from you, that actually hurts, okay?
We can't ignore it. We can't ignore what's happening.
Could one of you maybe...
No, we can't, but we can prioritize. Crothon, can you just, like, stop flying? Like,
Yeah, calm down.
I don't know how!
Duraxis, you feel your spell connected. You can drop concentration whenever you want. At this point, it's now Duraxis keeping it.
So when Duraxis got knocked down, he hit his head, so he's still kind of foggy. So it'll take him a minute to realize that it's his spell that's going on.
What do the people in the temple think just looking at us while we're like...
We've done weirder shit here, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you have.
So what have you please?
These clerics are like, they're also explorers. They love new stories. So this
perfect.
is a badass story for them.
This is perfect.
I'll just clean up the mess because you said stuff got knocked off. I'll just put it back like in the.
Yeah, so you see one of the clerics like with a little sketchbook, like sketching like the weird wings. On top of Crow, and so a dragonborn with like a griffin wing and a butterfly wing, like flying around.
Askew.
There's they're drawing this, and you see one of them approach the table and just whisper something, and then lay the drawing down, and you see a little figurine, a little floating figurine.
Oh yeah.
On the table.
That's
Okay.
really. I pat him on the shoulder. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
So I think we should leave.
Before we do that, could one of you please just kind of slot in Jarsai on that table there?
Oh, wait, hold on. I think that's my spell. I don't know how that happened.
Wait, you did this? You did this to me?
Duraxis, how did?
I don't remember casting a spell.
Could you stop it?
He's gonna like look in and be like, "Yeah, I don't see the bottle." But anyway,
you have the antidote to this.
Yeah. Anyway, he's just like gonna wave his finger and it's gonna like end.
So you just fall on your face.
Just gonna fall.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, my bad.
Crow falls, hit his head on the table, falls to the ground.
I do that thing where I act hurt too, like I just go and help Crothon up, and like, how dare you do this to us?
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I won't go scrying next time.
All right, Crow, we should look at Jarsai.
Yeah.
You're right.
Slot that one in.
Yep.
All right, who all's going?
Yeah, Direxus thinks that maybe his spells went wonky when he went in there, so he's not gonna go.
So Crow and Reggie.
Fabulous. So Reginald and
Dynamic duo. Let's go.
Yes.
You are going to feel yourselves head directly to the center of the city where the four elements meet.
Ooh.
And there is. Where are you going to go in the city? Which quarter?
Well, Granny currently is the one who's technically in charge of Jarsai now after the whole entire genie debacle. Let's head over to her place.
So now, one of the things that you realize, though, is because magic no longer functions in this area, it could very well be that Granny, you don't know, because the sultans are no longer here. The elementals are no longer, the genie are no longer here to maintain order.
It could be a complete disarray. Holy shit. Yeah, now I'm afraid for Granny's life, so I'm gonna go to Granny.
Fabulous. So you feel yourselves pulled towards the Palace of the Chalice, which is the air temple. You see your touchstone, the 2-mile-tall Tempest, the elder air elemental, also known as the Heart of the Sky, holding up an entire island with a mountain in the center of it that is the Air Genasi's home. As you begin whipping through the streets, you see that life doesn't seem to have shifted all that much here. You see all of the people still using the hang gliders to actually fly through the air currents of Tempest in order to get up and to get down from this area of the city. You enter, you see that you move very swiftly through the streets and find the palace. Still half destroyed, still with the Illithid spell-jamming ship on the side of it.
One day they'll clean that up.
Did you do this? That's...
Yeah, Gorf made a wish. And,
Gorf.
Yeah.
Why did you let him make the wish? That's...
You know what? Lapse of judgment. He did make a good wish, though.
You know what? It seems
destroyed at the palace.
Somehow on brand. Somehow on brand. That's... Who are we looking for again? Some
you've
Granny?
never been here. Granny. She's this wonderful gnomish woman. She actually was like the leader of the gnomes and kobolds for like the entire time.
Oh,
kind
goodness.
of like handling the backbone of Jarsai without anyone really knowing it. Came to power and the whole entire thing. People tried to kill her. It was great.
I love the gnomes. They were the mark of the scribes back in Eberron.
Back in what now?
Yeah, the place that I'm from.
Oh,
yeah.
There were gnomes there?
Cool. Yeah, they were like my mentors there. Like, most of my family was into like trade and storms and stuff, but like these guys, the gnomes, my bread and butter. History, knowledge, absolutely everything. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
I can't wait to have you meet her. You would love her, she would love you. You guys would just like heat sink. Let's go. And I like grab hold of his ethereal hand and take him into the throne room.
As you start getting into the throne room, I'm sorry, give me just one sec. Hey, Lay Reboam, like whoever you are, I don't know if you're asking for people to go like to your website or something like that, but we don't do solicitation over here. So if we can cut that out, that would be great. There is, as you enter the palace, you see that it is erupting in chaos. There seems to be something happening in the throne room.
I try to make heads or tails of what's going on. Is anyone being vocal about the situation?
It looks like the palace guards, which are mostly Air Genasi, are in a pitched battle with the gnomes.
What?
Oh dear.
Leading the gnomes is someone who I think Shade, you might be familiar with.
Oh, is it time for me to make my grand
I think so.
Of course. So. You see, leading the gnomes, a 3'3", armed to the teeth with his own set of eldritch cannons, one of which being a little roving machine, manned with a massive cannon that is blasting Genasis to and fro. Behind him, a battalion of other gnomes with similar artifice, making war. As he is making his way through the throne room, just very easily cleaning up those who dare try to get into his way. He's approaching Granny. with eyes fixated on her. You know, this all could have been a lot easier if you had stuck to your guns, if you had remembered your heritage and actually been fighting on behalf of the gnomes and kobolds rather than your newfangled position and your oh so beloved brigade of poison enthusiasts.
She stares back at you and she says, okay, you listen to me now. I've had enough of your duplicitous nature. Like, I put up with you because you are a very keen inventor, but this is just a bridge too far, is what it is. You better calm yourself down before I take matters into my own hands.
And still you fail to understand the true scope of this situation. You think that I am the only one who has some form of dissent when it comes to the way that you have been guiding us as of late? One man alone cannot a revolution make, Granny.
There's always gonna be people who are pissed off about something. They don't need someone like you riling them up, making things up about what's going on. I have been keeping a city together for 20 years now, behind the scenes, and finally I'm getting the recognition that I deserve for doing it, and I continue to do it. There should be war in the streets between the 4 factions in this city, but I help keep them all together.
And in doing so, you forgot the people who gave you the means to power in the first place. As he points Volt directly at her.
As soon as that happens, you see Granny's eyes just go white, and a diva appears directly between the two of you. Crow.
Hi. Oh my God.
When that happens, you feel your touchstone. You know, because you are in the vicinity, you feel that resonance because she's using a touchstone. And I will give you this for free. You realize that part of your connection to the touchstone is having a connection to the thing that holds up this island.
My brain just turned off. So I am connected to the thing that's holding up the island, of course. And oh wait, can I base boost Granny with the Heart of the Sky since it's not stuck in the ethereal plane? It's physically there.
Can you do what?
Can I give Granny the aid of the winds here?
You can try to do something with it. Absolutely.
Absolutely, I'm going to try.
What are you going to do?
Oh boy, fucking A. I'm going to attempt to. Oh yeah, warding wind on Grandia. So it's surround her with winds that will bat away anything that tries to get to her.
Fabulous. As this happens, you see Granny sort of floating a little bit off the ground as the power of her touchstone increases, and you see something strange happen. You see the diva itself suddenly begin to move very erratically and very quickly as little tornadoes, little eddies of wind start forming around it as the 2 touchstones start interacting with each other. The diva, seeing the threat to Granny, and now having the extra power of the touchstone, manages to move so quickly that they just cut the projectile that was being thrown in half with their fabulous flaming sword. And in that moment, you feel this gong in your head that something is going on. You see 2 versions of this gnome in front of you splitting off. You see one in which the shot goes through and takes down Granny, and then that version sort of disappears. And now you are standing here with this version who sees what's happening in front of them, realizes that they cannot win this battle now. Tell me, what do they do?
One day, Granny, you will see that all of what I am doing is for the benefit of the gnomes. But for today, you live. And with that, he is going to summon forth a actually, wouldn't, oh yeah, he would actually have access to the physical, like, knife right now. Because this, I'm really, like, if I'm understanding, this is the current past actual version of Malchosen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he pulls out the time knife and makes a slash into it as he walks through infinity, teleporting elsewhere.
Teleporting where?
Elsewhere. He teleports outside of the battlefield.
Fabulous. You all see what looks like a flapping tear in reality appear as this guy, he looks like he's holding something, but you can't quite see it. Like, your eyes slide off of it. You cannot comprehend the thing that is there. And he slices through reality and jumps through. As he does, that tear starts pulling itself back together. And you see now that the diva is there, the gnomes, without their leader, fragment and start running throughout the palace. Granny just looks around and she's like, well, that was a little odd. It better be wary.
Yeah.
Can't imagine this will be the last time he tries that. He always was far too ambitious. She waves her hand and the diva disappears. She heads back to her throne.
Crow, at this point, completely forgot the fact that he's ethereal and is like rushed over to Granny's side. And it's like, Granny, are you all right? Are you okay? Did you get hurt? And he's like looking all over her, seeing if she's like bruised or anything.
She just sits down calmly in her throne and picks up one of the stacks of books next to her. She looks over, she's just, She holds up her finger and summons one of her guards. She says, I need you to send one of the flyers, send one of the kobolds over to Valand. We need to discuss. Send one to Merchantry as well. Things might be a little more complicated than we thought. Anything else you'd like to see?
That was crazy. Like, for a second, I didn't know who to root for. Like, there was a dude with a time knife, and like, that was just really cool.
Yeah, I have no idea who that guy was. I never saw him a day in my life. Granny, though, the one sitting on the throne. Yeah, awesome. You saw her? She summoned an entire diva.
Oh, that's Granny.
Yeah,
oh
that's Granny.
She summoned, and then like,
yeah,
and then he left. And
Celestial.
holy cow, dude! Like, the stuff is going crazy around here.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome, and it looks like her life's in danger again. This is kind of like a thing for her, honestly. Like, her life's almost never not in danger.
You know, I was starting to think it was us. Like we're just bad luck somehow. But now seeing like it's not just us, it kind of makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that you are beginning to recognize that when people hold a lot of power, they are almost constantly in danger.
She definitely seems like she can handle herself if she can summon, just craziness.
She turned into a Baylor once.
What? Like the whole
thing.
Oh
She's
my.
awesome. Anyway, we should probably go and tell Draxus about all this.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Back to my body. Hopefully I don't have wings.
You get back to the temple. Draxus, have you done anything to that
No.
in the interim?
Oh boy. As we get back, Crow's going to immediately look around the room for Draxus. What are you up to?
Just kind of waiting. He's just like, kind of like looking around, doing these thumbs, kind of pacing back and forth. Just
Dude, you missed it. There was like these two gnomes, and then there was like a fight. The granny one,
What?
she summoned an angel,
Yeah.
and the other one
What?
like tried to shoot her, and then Crow was like, no, and then like this air shield happened and like flicked the bullet away. Oh my god, dude! It was like like edge of my ethereal seat.
it's crazy.
Yeah, you really missed out on like an exciting one. But long story short, Granny is dealing with like a coup, it seems.
Well, I mean, frankly, dealt with like
yeah.
hardcore.
Hard dealt.
Past
Oh.
tense.
Past tense. There was a coup.
Like,
Oh.
She's okay, but like I might go over and see what's going on. I think she's sending word to Balin about something. She wasn't really specific about it. And also merchantry. I don't know if she meant merchantry us or merchantry walking spiral, but she said merchantry.
You would recognize that the leadership of merchantry is in Walking Spiral, and that's probably who she's sending to.
So, yeah, we didn't check on merchantry, but they're pretty close. We can just go there.
I mean, here let's make sure we're all on the same page. What is our plan? Because I feel
I'm heading to Granny to see what the fuck's going on.
personally, looking at my own ability, I don't think it'll work out very well if we split up. That's just me.
Okay.
I would
But-
rather go with one of you guys.
To be fair, we're kind of doing diplomacy right now. We're not trying to have to hit anything.
That's fair. Still, if we leave here, we need to find crystals, just in case.
Yeah, maybe we all go
So
to
that
one
should be our
place, get
priorities.
crystals, and
Fair
then
enough.
split up.
Then Duopolis is of more urgency. Granny can handle herself for the moment. Duopolis is literally about to be invaded by Kilnasi.
Don't we have a messenger that we can just send places here too? Like,
Yeah, but they have to take. That's a lot of time. It's not like we have teleportation circles anymore.
I mean, there's still horses, right?
Which is still time.
Yes, but
Those
it's like,
aren't magical.
but it will take, like, in order to get to Duopolis from Delver's Dream, that's a 2-week journey.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
on horseback, and that's riding your horses hard. Like, that's covering, like, at least 40 to 50 miles a day.
And that's not including if we went that route. If we stopped at the underground temple library thing.
Well,
It was
you would
us.
have to, in order to get there without passing through Verendeth, you'd have to go through the capital. You'd have to go through the pass next to the volcano. You'd have to go through the capital and then on into the swamps.
So,
To Duopolis.
to
We get-
Duopolis.
It gets a lot of things done. We can check out Thra. We can get Bloodroot that we desperately need in order to deal with the Grimrot. And we can hopefully stop Duopolis from being destroyed by Kilnasi's army that she's going to send there.
Yeah, and I guess if Valencia takes Kalamundra, it's not technically the worst thing.
It buys time at the very least.
I mean, it's not good, but
It will split up her focus a little bit.
yeah,
right. So
it's not
I
great,
say
but that's
we,
not the
we
priority.
get a rest, grab something to eat on the way out, and move as soon as we can because we've already said this will take a while.
Yeah. I'm going to start packing for a long trip.
Yeah, me too.
I'll give you extra gold to grab some stuff for me. I've got something else I need to deal with. If that's cool with you.
I don't have
sure.
time to do my own shopping.
I don't have time for it. How dare you?
Not a problem. Get some rations and...
Yeah, I've got a bedroll. I just need some rations, like a tent or something. That would be totally
Nice.
cool. Thank you.
Of course. All right. Got you set.
Cool.
We meet at the exit to the mine at dawn.
Perfect.
Okay.
Fabulous. So, for the evening, Reginald, is there anything you would like to do?
I'm gonna go talk to Corton.
Okay. As you head over to Corton's study, you find him without his illusions up, so in his warforged body. You see that he has gotten rid of all of the rugs, and now most of his furnishings are now made of stone or metal.
Makes sense.
Because he now has a hellhound also on the premises. As you enter, he looks over at you and says, yes.
I sigh a little bit of relief, and I look at it. Can I get some? Is that okay? Is that okay? I need to talk to you. I would like to talk to you for a moment, please.
So in order for now, you understand that I no longer require nourishment. So
I understand.
Going to come in and demand tea and a chat. Yes.
Yes. I understand. You are of the many wizards I have met, you are one of the most powerful.
What kind of tea would you like?
What is Reginald's charisma score? Oh my god!
Anything that you have at this point. I just need.
Oh
something.
My god! Make a goddamn decision.
I just need some. Do you have Earl Grey? Do you have Earl Grey? Is that?
I have never heard of that in my life. I do have Earl Pinko.
I would love some Earl Pinko, please.
A little Earl Pinko, yes, named after
the Earl of Pinko.
Of Pico, yes. Who was the one of the merchant princes of merchantry about 600 years ago and raised amazing tea plants. Yes, I do have some of that. Over here, he gestures and you see that like there's an entire sort of wall in the kitchen that is just different like bottles of tea, different kinds of tea.
As he points to them and gestures, I'm half paying attention and I'm fidgeting at this point a little bit.
You see him just sort of scoop everything out, start the water boiling. You see him sort of snap his fingers and the flames appear. Yes. What can I do for you?
I wanted to pick your brain. I recognize intelligence, and I need some right now, some wisdom even. I've dedicated my entire life to knowledge, and I know you're aware of this by now. I'm currently worshiping wisdom. So my question is, I'd like to know, why is it that now that I'm dedicated
to... As you say, I'm worshiping wisdom, you see all of the springs and cogs, like as though his shoulders are suddenly tightening.
I noticed that, and I say that, why is it now that I'm dedicated to the God of wisdom that I feel like I don't even know who I am anymore? And I feel like the only person that would help and know the answer to this is you, because I saw your interaction in Kilnasi's presence at the temple.
Why would you ask me?
I don't know who else to ask. I don't know what to do. I ran away from my home because I didn't want to be the leader that my family needed. I didn't want to be the heir. And now that I'm here, I have this power and I have this responsibility, and I don't think it's for me. And I don't know what to do.
What, the touchstone?
And I just nod, and I don't know.
Would you like me to murder you so I can take it?
I don't think that will help, because still the future will change because of this. I just need your wisdom. Any advice that you could give. I'm sorry. I know that you probably get questions all the time, and I just I'm sorry, and I start walking out. I'm just.
So he sees that you're struggling, and he's like, "Wait, oh, Rithon," and he just sort of points over at the Hellhound. The Hellhound comes over and just sort of starts nuzzling, like.
Sorry, I I try to get myself together a little bit.
And you hear like the whistle of the tea finishing. He brings over a little tray of it. You must understand that I am the last person to ask about this. I discovered a month ago that I wasn't even real, that I was built by this god in order to explore the world for him and then just cease to exist. But because I did not cease, I do have 1,000 years worth of history. What's the problem?
I don't know. There's this feeling inside of me, and I don't even know what's real anymore.
What do you mean you don't know what's real?
Is this what you feel like? I don't. Every choice I make feels false, like there's a veneer over me, and I'm not connected to this world.
There's everyone's connected to all worlds that they exist in simply by existing there. Every single time you take a step, you shift in the air currents.
And I know that. I know that we are connected. The knowledge of facts is somehow separated in my mind with experience, and there's so much that I realize that I don't know now.
Well, sure, but the search for knowledge is eternal. Tell me about why you don't feel connected. What is this veneer that you're talking about?
I don't know when it started, but ever since wisdom cut the magic away, and I've been back at Delver's Dream, magic itself doesn't. This is so hard to explain. Growing up, my family, they had magic. They were sorcerers. They could just do magic, but I was not of that blood, and I needed to find magic by study, and I studied hard.
Yes.
And now that I'm here, now that magic does not work in the same way, I don't know if it. I feel like a part of me is gone. I feel like nothing I knew before was true, or maybe this isn't true.
If somebody loses a hand, does it mean that they are a different person? Does it mean that the rest of their body doesn't exist?
It feels like, to me, with your analogy, it feels like I can still feel things with that missing hand.
I'll back up. Just answer the question.
No, it does not make them a different person.
No, it doesn't. Just because they have lost that hand doesn't negate all of the other things that they have done, the hard work that they have done in their life. Yes or no?
I take a sip of the tea, and I sit up, and I'm like, no, it does not negate it. No.
No. And because they have only one hand now, does that mean they are incapable of doing all the things that they used to do?
No.
No. They might have to learn how to use their other hand in ways that they hadn't before. I myself am right-handed, but if I lost my right hand, I could still do the things that I need to with my left. There would be a transitional period as I learned to do that. But your knowledge of magic is not gone. You still understand the language of the universe, how to manipulate the fabric of reality in order to create an effect that you desire, utilizing somatic and verbal components along with a power source. That's the thing about magic, is there's always a power source for magic. In the case that we find ourselves in right now, it seems that these crystals are now a power source. But in other places, I have seen people use their own blood as a power source. I have seen them use the life force of other creatures or plants.
I'm afraid. This magic power, now that it's not just magic, but with the touchstone, any choice I make affects the world.
Yes.
I feel crippled by this.
Were you unaware that the choices that you made previously affected the whole world? Did you think that the choice to go to Nanked and battle with the Lich Queen did not affect the whole world?
I don't even know how I got swept up into all of this.
That's not the question.
At the time, I just wanted to save people.
Looking back, are you unaware how your actions changed the whole world?
I see how they changed them now, but...
Yes. Have faith that your actions always change the world. They cannot help but change the world. Every action that every person makes alters things a little bit. You can alter them for the better or for the worse. But any decision that you make might have unintended consequences. You cannot dictate what the universe is going to do with the actions that you have taken. You can only try to do the very best that you can. That's all. It seems to me that this fear is going to become paralyzing if you don't move past it. Not knowing exactly how your actions are going to affect the rest of the world will eventually keep you from making any action at all. And simply by existing in this state, you are going to put that into the universe forevermore.
You're right,
You will have to master yourself if you truly want the universe to be a better place in a year than it is today. You will not be able to do that if you simply live inside the fear. If you live inside the pain and the terror, it will never change. You will only ever be that thing. You will have to face this. You will have to make it through to the other side of this. And imagine what that will put out into the universe. Not living inside your fear, your anxiety, your trauma. but moving through it, finding the strength inside yourself to face it, and then finding even more strength in the journey through it. You will need to choose what you will put out there. The fear of making a decision ever, or the strength of facing this obstacle that exists within you.
Right. I mean, you're right. I'll look up at Corton as I'm, like tea in hand. I'll say, I'll do my best. Not that I need to tell you that. I mean, I needed to say it. Thank you.
As you say that, you feel something pressing into your carotid artery, something very sharp.
Oh, shit.
And you hear a voice behind you, this lilting, gorgeous voice. And as it speaks, you literally feel yourself fall in love with whoever's voice this is. They just say, alternatively, I could simply kill him and take his touchstone, and we wouldn't have to worry about this anymore, would we? And you see Corton sort of like just, ugh. That's enough, dear. You feel the pressure removed from your neck. What would you like to do?
Oh, man. I mean, she's got a point. Like, this would be so much easier if I was dead. Like, no, wait, hold on. Whoa. No. Who are you? What is Court?
You turn around and please give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
You may do so at advantage because you've traveled the plains so much.
Okay, so this is the first one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
This is the second one.
Oh, wow, with a 29, yeah. There's, you have absolutely heard many tales told and seen many depictions of Glacia, the princess of the Nine Hells.
My goodness, you are even more beautiful than the stories could ever have written. I immediately start like trying to sketch the best, and I just get frustrated, and I'm like, no, oh my god, I can't.
She touches the sheet of paper, and you see the actual image, a perfect image of Glacia, create itself on the paper and then begin to rise up out of it, and you have like essentially a little hologram now on this paper of Glacia just sitting there looking gorgeous.
Just jaw on the ground at that point. Just that is incredible magic. Wow, you both are just, oh my good, like just babbling at this point.
And Corton is going to look over at Glacia and just say, Glacia, love, this is not the one for you. She sort of pouts a little bit, just a very big sort of showy pout. About, I suppose you're right. Tell me, little one. What are you going to do with yourself?
I'm going to try. No matter what happens, I'm going to leave a mark on this world, and I want it to be a damn good one.
Sweetie, I do believe you already have, haven't you? Something happened a little earlier, and it happened with a touchstone holder. Did you feel time shifting, as though everything suddenly slid one tick over?
Is that what happened? With the knife?
It's not what happened with the knife, dear. It's what happened when Granny didn't die.
Oh.
Ah, yes. You all did something quite interesting.
Saving Granny pushed time forward?
No, it. Little mortals very rarely understand these things. Time is not as simple as one might think. It has eddies in it. It has a strangeness to it that you simply can't comprehend if you can't look into the stream of time itself. And you are not built for that.
Understandable.
Those of us who are built to understand it know that there are many different ways that things can play out, but these realities that can be created and shifted often just die on the vine. Something will have the vast majority of realities end in absolute destruction. People are too ambitious, people don't care enough, gods get silly and ridiculous. What you've done has created some sort of new vine. And we will see how all of the vines that are being created will interact with each other, won't we?
That is fascinating.
Yes. Now, Corton and I have much to discuss. I think you've enjoyed your tea quite long enough.
Oh, yes, I put the tea down and I'm sorry for bothering you, Corton, and I head out.
Fabulous. You see Glacius sit down and they just start smiling at each other and chatting. Now, Duraxis, is there anything that you'd like to do before you head off?
I think Duraxis would have been working on and preparing and trying to find a substitute for a healing potion that doesn't involve magic. I don't know how far along he's got necessarily, but he's gonna check and see if the latest experiment has worked, the combination of herbs and things.
Sure.
Because he knew we were going on a journey.
You can give me, because you have access to because the magical greenhouse, you have access to all kinds of different herbs and stuff like that. You could have been doing, over the past month, several experiments on things. Why don't you roll me a percentile check?
Oh, percent. Okay.
To see sort of where in the process you are.
Sure. Is it possible to have advantage because I have a proficiency with the alchemy tools or no? 47.
Yes.
Okay. 27. Okay, so 47.
So you're about the experiments aren't doing much. They sort of feel nice. You can tell that they're going in the right direction, but you realize you're only about halfway through the process.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so that he was hoping that the latest batch would work, but it just tastes good. He might give the recipe to Athul and say maybe you can make a drink out of this. But other than that, gather up rations and the stuff they're gonna need for the journey, but nothing else too crazy.
And Crow, is there anything that you'd like to do?
Crow has been in the market getting things off of a list. Since he's a survivalist, he knows what goes on in the swamps of Non-Ken and everything, and so he's being very thorough in his list. He's currently in the middle of haggling with the hags.
So first of all, the market has been operating for a month without access to teleportation.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, the things that can be created here in the mine, in the halls of industry, are available. The things that can be created can be transported easily from Splinter's Point or from Walking Spiral are available, but most of the others, like you can get, you have some stuff from Jarsagi, you got some stuff from Valen, but like there's nothing left from Duopolis, and that stand has sort of gone fallow. And you have found that the Formians, there's something going on with them where nowadays you only ever see one of them, whereas you used to always see all three.
As I stopped by the Formian stand and I noticed that there's only one of them, where are your friends?
They are hibernating.
Oh, cool. Don't know whether to say my condolences or not, or congratulations, I guess.
It just sort of stares at you. It doesn't really, as a super duper lawful creature, it doesn't really have a response to like kind words and things. They're not useful. That's not a useful communication to it, you know.
Why are you not hibernating?
One of us must run the stand. That is the task that we have.
Oh, you can choose to hibernate.
Yes, if there is not enough food for the colony, or if there are not enough tasks.
Do you guys not have enough food?
Currently we have enough for, and you see him sort of calculating. We have enough for another 3 weeks.
And then that's it?
Unless there's other food to be had.
What, like, is there specific stuff that you eat specifically that we just don't have access to? We have an entire enchanted garden.
It looks at you and it's like goblins or elves or cows. We can eat anything that is meat.
So you just need meat. Got it. Oh shit. Noted. We will absolutely try to get some cattle in here. We can't have you guys going into like indefinite hibernation or anything like that, or everyone else starving as well.
You know that there is a large pen of creatures called plated wallets out there. They're like about as big as a buffalo. And they are that you have kept, that you've been keeping for quite some time in Delver's Dream. And the reason that you keep them is because in the spring, they start growing these chitin plates all over them. And that's actually what they use to fight with each other. They slam into each other's sides during the mating season. And then after, it's sort of like antlers where all those plates fall off and you can actually make really good armor with them without killing creatures. But you have these big old creatures up there that can definitely supply some meat to them if need be. But you can also send out hunting parties into the surrounding area.
We're gonna go there before we start, killing our the cattle that we have for other resources besides food. That's like last resort. I will talk to our king, see if he can't set up some things.
Yeah, as you begin thinking about getting them fed, you suddenly realize that what are all the refugees that are surrounding the city eating?
Yeah. Wait a second, we have an entire table of Heroes Feast. We might need to set that up as like a homeless shelter-esque food room type deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you could get a total of about 100 meals out of that in a given day, which isn't even gonna put a dent.
Yeah, that's not gonna. Oh god. Oh boy. Shit.
Yep.
Shit.
There's gonna be some problems. So anything else that you'd like to do?
After I get the rest of my stuff, I'm just gonna. Ah, boy, my brain has. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to Bandolph and see if he doesn't know about the situation or doing anything about it at all.
So you're gonna find Bandolph in the actual treasury at this point.
Bandolph?
What do you want?
We have, of course, a situation. How are you? How have you been? I should
A
probably.
little stressed out. I've got thousands now of refugees. They just keep coming over and over and over again, thinking that for some reason, because the rumors are that we have magic, that we'll be able to do things for all of them.
Yeah. How's our food situation looking like?
Well, right now we've got between the table up on the first level of the mine and the clerics that fill in the temple complex, we can create a lot of food for people, but only sort of half rations for as many people as we've got here in the mines. All of the dwarves that live here are already going without food every other day in order to maintain this. And it's definitely tempers are going to start flaring very shortly, I'm sure.
I don't think our hunt, are we able to get some hunting party staff? How much of a dent, have you ran the figures on that?
I've tried, but literally the refugees have scoured every single piece of food within 20 miles of here.
Of course. We might be able to set up some type of, have you had word with Balin? Seeing if we can't get some trade situated with getting actual cattle to Delaware.
We get about one caravan a week at this point, but the last one didn't show. We're assuming at this point that there's just everywhere in the world things are going crazy right now.
Of course.
We're assuming that somebody saw the caravan and just tried to take it. And if they could take it, at that point we'd be dealing with a bandit situation that could take out some of the best trained fighters on the continent.
We might have to get hunters on that then.
We need to get somebody on it, but as soon as we step out of here, we lose all of our magic, so it needs to be some of the marshals.
Yeah. No, I mean hunters harvest. Those guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you understand that if I send you after bandits, that what's going to happen is that we're going to increase the violence across the multiverse.
That is also true.
If I send my dwarven army after them, it won't do the same thing because they're not connected to touchstones.
Right. Yes. You're intelligent.
Yes, I am.
Could we do that?
Could we do what?
Send out the dwarves.
No, I already did that.
Oh, you already did? Okay.
What do you think I just sit in here and wait for somebody to come along and try to tell me that there is a problem? No, there is a problem. We try to solve it. Right now we're trying to solve the food problem.
Got it. Right.
It's like you think we don't exist until you suddenly interact with us.
It's not that actually. It's specifically because I thought you existed. I'm just Bandolph probably knows what he's doing about this situation, and I came to talk to you because you have more control over the situation than I do.
We've in fact started several programs. Number one, we've got the Florid attempting to create as many fruit trees as she can. We've brought some seeds up, all of that. She's gone down into the greenhouse, down in the temple level, trying to create some food. We've got Diadem and her sisters attempting to do the same thing, trying to increase our food stores. So at the very least, we'll have a little bit of citrus to fight off the scurvy.
That's good.
Yes, but there's a whole world of problems right now. Very little that any of us can do about it.
What about the trade routes and merchantry? Are they still up and running? Any word on that? You probably don't.
I don't know at this point. I am planning on currently what I'd like to do is I would like to send Corton out to build some guard towers along the route because he'll be able to do that easier than anybody. But unfortunately, he's going to need a boatload of crystals in order to do that. And we haven't found a good source yet.
All right. Do you think you might be able to keep things going for about a month? Do we have that much rations?
Keep things going.
Rations wise, food wise, can you handle a month?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do what we need to. In about 2 weeks, we're going down to quarter rations.
All right. We found a possible source of a lot of crystals out in Kilnasi's swamps. But we will be able to, we're already making route to go to Duopolis to handle some diplomatic relations there. We're stopping by our source and we will bring
What the hell is going on in Duopolis?
Oh, jeez, war. Kilnasi has decided to go to war with Duopolis.
Why do you think she's going to war with Duopolis?
Because at the preemptive strike, really, she thinks everyone's going to be attacking her. She's not wrong. Balin is sending out troops over to her as well to start attacking.
Kilnasi, have you been down to the Temple of Ardhar? You can scry all this. She's got no troops heading to Duopolis.
She's setting up to, and we're trying to go to Duopolis to make sure that everything is honky dory.
And he's going to sort of debrief you on what you saw.
All right.
So we don't, since we've already gone through that today, we don't necessarily need to. Mm-hmm. But he's going to debrief you, and he's going to be like, listen, Kilnasi is a phenomenal strategist.
Yes.
And you could not have snuck up on her.
Yeah, no. So you're saying that she put that out there specifically for someone to see?
That would be my guess, because if you scry to the south, towards Verendeth, what you'll see is a huge number, thousands of Warforged, building a giant suspension bridge over Verendeth, even as we speak.
It was a diversion.
It was.
I'm so happy I came to talk to you. I am so out of my depth here. I'm used to making sure that I survive, and that's about it. Me and my drakes, and that's about it. That's as far as my brain went before I got into Delvers and everything. Oh my god.
Okay. Listen to me. The waters that we're navigating at this point, they're deep and they're turbulent. No one's ever been in this situation before. No one knows how to do it. But we can't be doing what we've always done, which is reacting to things. We've got to start figuring out how we're going to make things better, not only for ourselves, but for everybody else. How we're going to avoid these conflicts instead of just existing within them. If we can't do that, the universe will be a mess forever.
I would propose perhaps an armistice, but I don't think Kilnasi's one for armistices.
No, she's not. And listen, there are some hard truths that you're going to have to learn. You're never going to get rid of war. You're never going to get rid of violence. It's always going to exist. It doesn't matter how much you don't want it to. There is enough trauma in the world. There's enough hatred. There's enough fear. There's always going to be this out in the world. If you try to ensure that you're never going to see it again, you're just going to have to lock yourself away in a cave. Right. What we're going to have to do is just our best for the people that are counting on us.
Of course.
Luckily, we have armies at our disposal. And if we can convert the refugees into extra pieces of those armies, we should be able to help maintain order at the very least. Because if what my Scryan has shown me is correct, it looks like we can't really count on Valand any longer. All of their forces are going to be headed over Verendez to take out Kilnasi. And I guarantee you, they're not going to
suicide mission. Crow's mind just wanders over to thoughts of Goru and Gorf. Right. Like I said, we're heading over. Still, like,
you must think. What is the end goal that you want? For me, it's order in the world. Not a tyrannical order, but just some guardrails so that people don't go too nuts. My goal right now is to create an army large enough that we can send reinforcements to everyone else, that we can secure the trade routes so that people don't starve, so that we can maintain some order in the city streets now that we don't have things like zones of truth or the ability to stop someone with magic as they're trying to run away from the scene of a crime, the ability to lock them down, to simply look inside their head to see who they are. We can't do these things anymore. So now it's going to be up to us to ensure that we can do this, that we can help the world move forward in some sort of way, at least to survive this year that we've got to deal with. You need to think about what you want at the end of this all. And then you've got to find a way to make it happen.
I want what I've been trying to hunt for the better part of my entire life, really.
Which is what?
A better life for... This is selfish, but orcs. And those who face similar horrid situations.
Well, if you're only looking for a better life for one type of person, what's that going to put out into the universe?
Right. I already saw what happens when I make myself that closed off. The entire riot at the gates was in large part due to my closed-mindedness. So, instead of just the orcs,
you need to separate yourself out from who you were. I know that I'd like a better future for my dwarves. I feel the connection to them. I love them all. I want them to prosper. I want them to rise up and do all the things that they've ever wanted to do, to live lives, not necessarily of luxury and ease, but lives of freedom. Because I know in their hearts, they are good. They are wonderful, hard-working folk that will do their best for the world around them, if only I can give them the opportunity. But I have to separate myself out from all that and look at the entire world now as my community. It's not just the mine anymore. It can start here, though. We can solve these problems here, and then we can show the rest of the world just what it means to do that. If you want to find a place for the orcs, we can. We can work together to make that happen. But you might soon think about finding a place for all of us.
Right.
With that, you see Ingrath come skittering into the room on her new drider body. And it's very interesting because she's a lich, so it's not like a glistening drider body. Like you can see like the carapace, very much like she is sort of skeletal. Like the carapace, you can see like there's like chunks of it missing, and you can sort of see like the desiccated insides of it. And there's literally like spider webs filling the inside of her body. She looks down at now. She's like, the experiments are going well, but I'm gonna need you down in the halls of magic. We need a few. We're gonna need a little help. A little help.
How can I be of assistance?
Well, right now, I think we've got the mines taken care of. We've got what? How many? Let me think about it. There's.
Oh,
I'm
God.
trying to think about how many touchstone holders there are in the mine right now. There's Vandoff, there's Ingrath, there's Diadem, there's Calyx, there's who else has a touchstone?
Does
There's
Zach have a touchstone? Zach's still here.
there's Relic. Who does?
Zach.
Yeah,
Zach's
Zach
got a
Rice.
touchstone.
Did you say the Florid had one? Did you already
Oh,
count?
I don't think so.
I haven't given her one yet. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
there's at least 6 touchstone holders here. Oh, and Peregrines, that's 7. So there's at least 7 touchstone holders here in the mine. Like we're good here.
We're good here.
Got this. There's so he's like, well, we're taking care of this. You're gonna need to figure out what you and your friends want and what you can do for the rest of the world.
Big question. Holy fuck.
Another, yes, it's fine.
Oh no, I'm just saying that is a big question. That is it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's the
Existentially.
biggest.
What do I want? I'm gonna sleep on that one, honestly. I'll be. Oh, fuck.
And as you leave, you suddenly recognize that the sort of movement in the market that you've seen is definitely a little more frenetic than you thought of before. Now that you have been told about the food situation, you recognize the toll that it is taking on everyone at this point.
We need crystals. And with that. Oh, yeah. With that, Crow's gonna make his way to his quarters.
As you make your way to your quarters, something happens in the market that sort of at the edge of hearing. Where is so Duraxis, you're down below the tavern working on potions.
Yep.
And Reginald, where are you at this point?
I left Corton's tower. I think if it's not too late, I would have gone and checked on Crothon because he was getting resources for me. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to leave him by himself to do it. So I'll go down to the market. I'll be heading down to the market at least.
You're gonna pass Crow.
Oh,
Both of you. What would you like to do?
I'll say that for the sake of being together, that during this point, Diraxis is going to down to the mine to get more ingredients, and so just so happened to be this.
Yeah, we get it.
What a coinky dink!
Wink,
Oh
wink,
my.
wink. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wink, wink.
absolutely. So you all meet sort of at the head of the market. As you greet each other, you hear this sort of strangled scream from the edge of the market. It's not like a scream of pain. You can tell it's like a scream of frustration. And you see everyone sort of turn to the hags up at the top of the market. And they all sort of just like look around and they sort of like put their hair back. It's like, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
What? Give it to us straight, guys. What did you do this time?
They just all look at you and they're like, what are you talking about?
Listen, it's been a very long day. I'm still very much beaten up. And honestly, I have a lot on my mind right now. And getting at the bottom of your latest scheme is not really... What did you do so we can fix it?
Nothing.
Uh-huh. Then why did we hear a scream coming from this direction?
Because we are a little frustrated, that's all.
You're frustrated.
Oh, you
What happened?
guys are screaming.
Pardon?
Oh, you guys made that noise.
Yes.
Oh. All right.
Why?
We assume, Diraxis, do you know what 2 + 2 is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we assumed that you would put that together, given that you heard a scream and then you immediately came over here.
No, I'll just assume that anytime anything bad happens in the market, you guys are the cause of it.
Well, that is highly prejudiced. It's not inaccurate.
So I didn't necessarily think that you necessarily screamed, but I was thinking maybe you caused someone else to scream, which just
It's
being
true,
here makes me
it's-
want to scream.
It's true that sometimes we are the cause of a little distress, but we've never accidentally entered the world.
And what exactly are you beautiful women frustrated about?
Nothing.
You know what? If you don't want to tell us, nothing we can do about it. We offered our assistance to help solve whatever the hell you got going on right now. But
Did we?
to be entirely honest, there's a lot going on right now.
I mean, but you could give us assistance if you'd like. If you just... And
Yeah.
she literally pulls out a dagger and she's like, if you'd like to give us a touchstone or 2, I'm sure that we could do some lovely things with them.
Oh, fuck right off with this. And Crow's going to...
I have
like,
something I
leave.
might trade. I've got this, and I pull up the necklace that I found off the Red Dragon. I don't really know what it does, but
The necklace. Oh,
from the Red Dragon. Yes, this is the
from like a year ago.
The red
From
dragon?
a year ago.
That you
Yes.
never used.
that I've never used. Well, no, this is Reginald picked this up when you guys were in the Dryad.
The demon web pits.
Yeah, the Demon Whip Pits. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Oh,
So,
that's right.
It is an amulet of the plains. You would have had plenty of time to identify it.
Yeah.
Um.
I know I'm playing dumb.
So you can give me an insight check. It's going to be a very high insight check. Give me. That's okay. With 26, yeah, that's not.
No, yeah, that's fine.
when you see them, when you pull out the magic item, they immediately are excited about it, but then like their sort of faces fall, and you realize that they understand that it's not going to work for some reason.
Yeah, I clock that, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
So my question is, did you have the amulet with you when everything changed in non-Ked?
Yes, it was on me.
So
at that
yeah,
time.
so it's no longer a magic item.
Yeah. unfortunate.
They look at you and they say, "It's very pretty."
I know. For some reason, I can't sell it, you know? It's just... Oh, well.
I mean, we'll take it.
Maybe just some advice. And I don't know. You guys
Ooh.
are magically inclined. I'm looking for a new magic item to help me, even outside of the area. I don't have a lot to trade right now, but I do have this necklace.
What information? You may ask one question in exchange for this necklace, and we will give you an honest answer.
I do need to think about that for a second.
Take your time, man. Every time we've gotten the ability to get an honest answer out of someone, we've botched it.
Yeah.
I really just want another artifact that will help me on my journeys.
I don't hear a question.
It's because I didn't word it as one.
If you'd like to sign a little contract, we can get you an artifact.
May I perhaps read and even bargain terms of said contract?
It's your basic contract for something that powerful.
So we need them.
For an actual artifact that still possesses its power, we would need quite the payment.
Well,
Especially now that magic seems to have been taken from this world.
They're
I
basically
will
what you
say,
sold.
making a deal with me now will solidify deal making in the future because I do hold a planar touchstone.
That's true.
And I feel like that is already quite the bargaining chip. But besides that, I don't really want to bargain much more.
Well, my dear, you're not going to get something for that. We can certainly find some other eager participants with your little touchstones.
I'm sure you could. But
Is there a question yet? Oh, there was a question, wasn't there? Yes, if we write a contract, you may peruse it. I would like my necklace now.
fair enough. I hand over the necklace.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. Buddy, you got off easy. The last time we made a deal with them, we got thrown into an alternate universe.
This is
where,
why you set
everything-
stipulations first,
Yeah.
Prothon.
What? You lost that ordeal. This is like,
Yes, but all I had to give up was the necklace.
you know what? Fair enough. You're right. We should have said, you can't just throw us into an well, good semantics. You guys
Anyway,
are-
even if it's not completely truthful, information will still be helpful. What
Yes.
magics do you still feel around here that would help me on my goal?
Do you have anything to bargain for the second question?
I may, though it's
You
still not exactly the greatest. How about this? I can make you one magical scroll that you can use.
As you are saying this, you see one of them just pull out a piece of paper and start writing on it, wave her hand over it, and roll it back up. And she's like this magical scroll that I just created in front of you.
Fine, I will pull out the black dragon masks.
Ooh.
Are you really going to wager another thing right now?
This.
Are you doubling down?
Well, this still
This-
has its magic because it's an artifact.
This is already an artifact?
It's because it is part.
It was someone else's artifact.
Wait, what?
Wait.
It was the artifact of the black dragon that you killed. It was a family
Oh.
heirloom
Yeah.
artifact.
That's all the
Artifacts
information I need.
still
Thank you.
work?
No, so the thing is,
Sorry.
as a character you might know that, or as a person you might know that, but your character doesn't know
Your
that.
character has no idea what this is.
You just know that it still works.
If I know it still works, I'm not going to bargain with it then.
Okay.
You're only trying to sell them literal trash.
Exactly. Why would I mean, I gave him.
That's all they
Make it
deserve.
Like, so here's the thing. You need to stop treating people like they're idiots. Because these ladies have been making deals for thousands of years. Like, these are, like...
Who, me or Crow?
No, you're the one who's trying to sell them garbage.
I'm gonna trick these three hags that have literally been making deals with like the most powerful creatures in the multiverse.
Listen, even if it still worked, it didn't work. That's fine though. All right. No, I don't think we need a contract for today, but I will keep that in mind.
Crow's just rubbing his temple at
Wonderful.
this point.
If you happen to have any juicy information that you think might be worth a contract, let me know.
We've got so much juicy information,
Oh my god.
but none of it comes free.
Were you frustrated because you didn't have anyone to play with today? Is that it? No one stopped by because everyone's already sad enough?
Yeah, they were hugged when they were a child.
Child.
Oh, my dear, we were hugged. You understand that we're created and not born. The sack that I existed in for hundreds of years as I was being grown was hugged many times by a giant tentacle monster down in Hades.
Oh, never mind.
That sounds horrible.
Very disturbing visual. Thank you for that.
Just because my parents don't look like your parents doesn't make it disgusting. It's just different.
I-
Sure. I mean, yes, technically, yes.
Right.
Anything
How about-
else?
How about if I gave you a piece of knowledge? So, an exchange of knowledge, if you would.
We might be interested in that, but we will determine exactly what that knowledge is worth because we might have it already. Here's what I shall do.
Okay.
I shall, and you see them wave their hands, and they create a zone of truth. I will not lie to you, and you will not lie to me. If I have this knowledge, I will tell you. If I did not have this knowledge, I will tell you that as well. And I will trade you knowledge in equal measure. Just remember, what is important to you is not necessarily important to me. Would anyone else like to get in on this deal?
No, I learned my lesson.
I
Pass.
don't deal with hacks.
Hard pass.
Yeah, no. What we got the literal worst at like possible thing to happen with dealing with a hag. Crow's turned off of hags.
Yeah,
All right.
not a particular
Sir
big
Reginald.
fan.
Would you like me to go first?
Yes, please.
If you wouldn't mind, and I lean forward and I whisper into her ear, I can still cast magic.
Yes, we all can while we're in the mine.
I can do mine outside of the barrier, without a crystal.
Can you? I mean, this is the issue with the zone of truth.
Only-
It's like, can you
only-
actually do that?
Only a few times a day, but yes.
So the information that you're giving us is that you have a touchstone.
This isn't part of the touchstone.
You're going to have to give us specifics, dear, or I'll just be very vague about what we're giving you too. This is an equal exchange. After all, stop being
You
coy.
have asked 3 questions
No,
about my
I
thing
haven't.
already.
I haven't. I told you this would be an exchange of information, not an exchange of questions. If you're going to be vague with us, we will be vague with you.
I need popcorn.
Right.
Crow's also getting some of that. You'll learn eventually.
Fine. But this is some juicy information, so I expect some reciprocation afterwards.
You can expect everything you want, my dear, but that won't necessarily get it for you.
I have a connection with the God of Wisdom. And that allows me to, a couple times a day, cast magic normally.
Wait a second,
look
you
at
could do
you.
that?
You're like a teacher's pet?
I'm still whispering, right?
Oh.
Yeah, like this is just a very, if you don't want them to hear, they won't hear.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. I
yeah,
would
that's fine.
prefer to keep this
Yeah.
as a tete-a-tete.
They look at you and because she's in a zone of truth, she's just going to say, the fact that you can cast magic outside means very little, if anything, to us. There are various ways that can happen. We don't care. But the fact that you have a personal and direct connection to, and here she, like, you feel something happen, like you know that she's sort of hiding something just in changing 1 or 2 words, but she's not lying. You have a connection to a god. It's very intriguing to us. Fine. Here's a juicy little bit of knowledge for you. Corton has a contract with Glacia.
And that means nothing to me. I thought this was going to be fair.
It is in fact fair. The fact that you can't figure out how to put that knowledge to good use is not our problem. It is in fact an incredibly significant bit of knowledge, both when looking towards the past and when looking towards the future. The question I would ask if I were you is, why hasn't the contract been fulfilled yet? And what does Glacia want?
And because we're in the zone of truth, I'll say, God, I wish that you would have told me something that I really wanted to know. And with that, I'm gonna cast, what is it? Detect thoughts.
As soon as you start casting, she immediately casts Counterspell. Just knocks it right out. She says, that was quite rude, my dear. You are trying to alter the terms of our contract.
Honestly.
Our verbal contract. I would just like you to know that as a touchstone holder, you just created deception.
I didn't
In
deceive
the
you.
universe. You absolutely did. You went back on our deal. You attempted to change what was happening and to steal information from me.
No, our
In the
deal
middle
was finished
of our
after you
party.
told me. After you told me
Was it?
your part. Of course it was. That's after I
We
said
did
my
not.
information and you said your information. That was the end
It's
of the deal.
always interesting when someone attempts to create terms for a deal after the fact. We did not stipulate the number of questions or the amount of information that could be exchanged. So until
We also didn't stipulate
both determine,
no use
I
of
am
magic.
speaking right now. We
Has
both-
this whisper grown into an argument?
Yes.
No, she is now looking at, she looks and she's like, first of all,
All right, it looks like he fucked up.
First of all, the fact is that our deal had not yet concluded and will not conclude until we both determine that it is done. You have just attempted to steal something from
When
me
was that?
you yourself have determined has value, which is information.
When was that term stipulated? It wasn't.
Dude, you're trying to have an
Because an
argument with
ending-
hags.
Because an ending had not been stipulated, it meant that it had to be agreed upon by both parties.
What
That
was
is how a
stipulated
contract
was a
works.
trade of information.
Of
Once that
information,
trade-
but not the amount of information, the number of questions, anything like that. This trade does not end until I decide that it ends.
So we can just continue asking each other questions?
We can, or we can decide that it is over, and you will understand that you have just brought something that I personally love into the multiverse, but that you might not be ready for the consequences of.
Nothing good's come
Would
from
you
making
like
deals
more-
with hags. We all learned the lesson.
Don't feel too bad, Reginald.
learned
Technically, if we had remembered or thought about it, Daraxis invented lying when he lied to Kilnasi about the spell. So,
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
so you created lying, but he has created like much more layered deception.
okay.
Like, he created espionage right there.
Ah,
All we said, above
Corporate
table even,
espionage.
all we said was a trade of information. I tell you something, you tell me something.
Yeah.
So I
but
don't
but
know. I
Kyle's
think she's pushed- I
Kyle's
think she's
totally
pulled the
right
leg.
in terms of
Yeah, so what I'm going to say to you, so above table, because I don't want you to feel
Yeah, no,
like-
totally.
harmed by this. Like, above table, like you did not stipulate how many questions it would be, and you didn't stipulate how much information would be exchanged, which means
Yeah.
that you both get to determine that together at the end. But if one person doesn't agree with you, then at that point there's an impasse. You have to
Reginald
agree
kind of jumped the gun
what's
a
going
little
on.
bit.
You
Well, to be
can't just
fair,
sort
I
of.
was not satisfied with my answer as well. So
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were satisfied with your answer. So here's the thing, and then I'm going to sort of just move along. Is that it was not about you being satisfied with it. The terms were very specifically that you would get information of equal value. But what that means is that it is of equal value to the individual who's receiving it, or the individual who is gaining it, or giving it, sorry. So you gave information that part of it didn't matter to them at all, but part of it did. So they gave you information so only one part of that was valuable to them. So they then gave you information that is very valuable to them, and if you don't know what to do with it, then that's not their problem.
Yep, that was
Alright.
equivalent exchange right there, baby.
Yeah. So you can keep going if you want, or you can choose to end
no,
it.
no,
they
and
will
I
absolutely end it
figured
with you.
I figured it out when they said that we could have kept asking questions. So that's fine.
So you're gonna keep digging this hole, Reginald, or did you learn your lesson about dealing with hags?
No, that's it. I guess we have information that is still valuable.
Yeah,
All right, final question.
I'm
on the
sure
It
table.
is apparently far more valuable than you understand, my dear, and I'm sorry that you haven't figured it out. You will, though. And oh my goodness, it's a doozy.
What did you learn?
We'll talk and we'll walk and talk.
Okay.
There is. She's going to turn to you and she's going to say, "Is our business? I believe our business is concluded now. Do you believe so?"
And I just bow.
I'm going to need a verbal confirmation, my dear.
Yes.
Fantastic. Have a lovely day.
Are you still frustrated, or did this raise your spirits?
Oh,
And
we're
we're-
still frustrated, but
Oh.
it has raised our spirits. And that's when she suddenly realized she's still in the zone of truth. And she's like, damn it. And just clicked and it's gone.
You admitted that you're frustrated. I'm happy. Let's leave.
All right, bye.
This was a lovely chat.
Yeah.
Whatever's
As
frustrating you, I
as
hope
begin-
resolves itself.
As you begin walking away, they wait until you're just about out of earshot. But Crow, because you have such phenomenal hearing, you hear them saying, "Why won't any of them work? It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, what?
And then you keep going.
Yeah. Just like pinned. Something's not working, should be working. Don't know who's the target of it, don't know what it's about. We'll inquire later. Definitely not from them.
All right. I did get a bit of information. I don't know how exactly it helps us, but apparently Corton has a contract with, you said Valencia?
Glacia.
Glacia.
Valencia's the city.
Sorry, I heard the Cia and I was
It's Glacia.
The person that like said they would kill you and take your touchstone. That one.
And as we're walking, actually, since I have the picture, I'll like pull up the holographic image out of my notebook and be like, so even though he has a contract with Glacia, that's the interesting thing.
Oh, got a contract with Glacia.
Why hasn't it ended? They said was also important.
Listen, the only thing that I can think of that someone as powerful as Glacia would want from someone as resourceful as Corton is likely a touchstone of her own.
Well, he doesn't currently, to my knowledge, have one, but
Precisely.
there is a lot of power you can gain by having a contract with a wizard of his caliber.
Yes, but it seems that it's something that he currently can't give while the contract is still on. And the only thing he can't give is something he doesn't have.
Another thing, contracts that stipulate after death or even just transference of one's soul to another vessel, that seems like it would be a very strong contract indeed.
You would have an understanding that Glacia, because she was a demon, like essentially one of the archdevils of the nine hells, she has the ability to create contracts that transcend life. So if you do not accomplish what you're supposed to do for her in life, she can force you, she owns you after you die, and she can force you to continue to try to do that. And she can empower you, especially like the way that the hells work is that as you accomplish things, the archdevils will transform you into like the next level up of devils. So it'll be like imp into something else, into Erinese, and eventually you can become like a pit fiend, right? There is so Glacia can change people to whatever she wants. So she can absolutely, after someone dies, still demand that service or that item that's in the contract.
Well, that does make sense to why I saw her earlier.
Oh, saw her earlier.
Oh shoot, I forgot to mention. Yeah, like when I went to go see Corton, she like threatened to kill me. So sweet. God, she's beautiful.
Also, if we're talking about things we just found out, we got had by Kilnasi. She's not at all. Yeah. We fell for her trick. Hook, line, and sinker. She's not at all targeting.
The cactus baby?
No, not the cactus baby. She's not actually targeting Duopolis right now.
Oh.
Instead, it's something far worse.
Oh.
She's building a bridge over. My brain turned off. I forgot the name of.
Verendeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verendeth. And that's why the troops from Valen are being sent over there. But they're literally going to die. They are just rushing over Verendeth itself. All of their forces. To try to stop Kilnasi.
You know that the winged forces.
I know the winged forces are, but I'm just extrapolating off of what Valen says.
Because we've already been through all of this, as you give that information and you are all talking about the various things that you have discovered over the course of the evening, we will finish our session as you head to bed, ready for tomorrow to start figuring out how you are going to fix the world and the multiverse.
Oh, boy.
And with that, thank you for being here. So let's do a fabulous, fabulous wrap up here. Everybody hit !raffle, please, if you'd like to win some fabulous Phoenix dice. And while we are doing that, let's do some favorite moments. Hey, Reginald, what was your favorite moment from today?
Oh my God. A lot of crazy things happened. I think the part with Crow and everybody like eating popcorn while I'm like whispering to the hags is one of them. I think my conversation with Corton was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I really love that. That was a great moment.
I love that. That made me very happy. Especially getting to show off Corton's sort of like sincere side, not just the
oh my God, yeah.
So fucking tired of all of you coming to me with all your goddamn problems side. Duraxis, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was when Reginald literally stole a spell slot from me and cast it on Crow.
I love that, like, now we know that if somebody, like, steals your bag, you can't cast spells anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But, okay, but also, I can toss spells to people and then they can cast.
Oh my God, that is so awesome.
Oh my God. But they're gonna need to know how, like, what to do with them. Like, if you have to mix things together.
I'll have to like write instructions on a Sharpie. Be like, mix this one, drink half, and then in 5 minutes drink the other half.
like, I just look at it. And I'm like thinking, like, you can't figure out what's what. You like throw a healing potion at the enemy accidentally.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah. Like
make him invisible
like a
or
healing
something.
word. Absolutely. Has to be a label maker.
You just,
Crow, what was your favorite moment?
It was gonna have to be like the timeline shifting yet again with Maltoven by way of Crow not actually assassinating Granny. Just fail to assassinate. Oh my God, this is gonna speak volumes for everything else. It's gonna be so cool.
It's gonna be super, super fun. I can't wait. So let's see who wins the raffle. Huzzah!
Closing it up.
And thank you again, everybody, for being here. I love having you here. You are all awesome. I just thank you to all of our supporters and all of our sponsors. Absolutely fantastic. Go head over to heroforge.com. They are amazing. Go check out Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms and go check out Phoenix Dice. They are glorious. So now, who is the winner?
The winner is Turbo KKV.
Turbo, send me either a whisper here or send me a message in Discord, and I will hook you up with some fabulous dice. Yay! And now let's go a-raiding to somewhere delightful. You know, Dutch Dungeons raided us yesterday, so I think we should go raid Dutch Dungeons today. I think a little turnabout is fair play.
Oh, yeah.
So,
the hats would definitely enjoy that.
Right.
And it looks like they are playing some fabulous Dungeons and Dragons, so get ready for more D&D. Yay. I can't wait to see you all again. We will be doing a rerun this Friday for our Magnificent Mythologies, and then we will be here on Sunday to do some Wonders of the World as we build out the Patchwork Planet, and you get to see exactly what's going to happen when my players don't. Can't wait to surprise them with all the craziness. It's gonna be great. And now, mwah!
Bye.
Bye, guys.